It's the NFL on EA Sports. And if it's in the game, it's in the game. It's the Minnesota Vikings and the Los Angeles Rams. All that and more coming up next.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the City of Angels, Los Angeles, California. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis on hand. Kickoff just moments away. Charles, quickly, keys to the game.
For me, it's coaching. Who prepared his team the best going into this one to give them the confidence to believe that they would win the game? That's who's going to come out of this one on top.
And off we go from SoFi Stadium. The lane opens here. He's past the 30. And they'll have very good starting field position as he's up just shy of the 40. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. They'll be led out by a Southern California kid. Played his college ball in L.A. at USC. At quarterback, it's Sam Darnold. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Darnold going to throw right away. Over the middle and complete to Addison. Now whistles and a timeout. Looks like we've got a Viking slow to get up. Well, hopefully, obviously nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break. Second down and 3. Now the man from UTEP, this is Aaron Jones. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
They'll try and run for it with Jones. And he's got the first down, yardage before being taken down at midfield. Didn't get it by much, but bottom line got the first down, avoiding that 3 and out. How vital is that on the first drive?
To me, it's like the first round of a boxing match. You know, it may not mean much right then and there, but you'd rather not lose it, right? So you want to go ahead and get it, kind of establish something early, and hope it can carry through.
Got a man, that's Trent Sherfield. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. From the 42 now, here's 2nd and 2. Out of the shotgun, it's Jones. The 20. 5. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. 42 yards for Aaron Jones. And the Vikings are on the board first on the road here in L.A.
Well, earlier in the week when they had their scouting report meeting, this was the explosiveness that they talked about trying to contain. They were concerned about it all week, yet he still did it to them. Wonder how that's going to carry over the rest of the game.
No going for 2. They'll kick the point after. He's got it, and the Vikings take a 7-0 lead. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And the last play in the drive was a touchdown run by Aaron Jones. Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. So out come the Rams now for their first possession. Leading the charge at quarterback, the former Georgia Bulldog, Matthew Stafford.
And Matthew Stafford was taken first overall in the 2009 draft, and he certainly played like a top pick. Throughout his career, he's been one of the most prolific passers in the league, and there's no reason to believe he's going to slow down his production anytime soon. Not only that, he's also one of the tougher quarterbacks in the league as well.
Stafford and the Rams come up 1st and 10 at their own 26. They'll try and start this drive in the air. He'll get this complete to Cooper Kupp. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a first down. We'll see what kind of mindset they have here offensively after giving up the touchdown on the opening drive.
And based on our time with them, prior to this game, I feel like they've got a good mindset going in. In fact, the discussion that we had with the coaching staff was, we may give up some points in this game, so our offense has to be ready each and every time to either equal or try and get us ahead and try and keep us ahead. This is their chance to respond to that first touchdown given up. They suspected it was a power play up the middle coming at them, and boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on first down.
Back to throw, Stafford. And that one too wide and incomplete.
And that's the knowledge you gain from being in this league for a long time. He's learned the hard way when to give up and fight another down. And that's a smart move to throw it away.
So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Here's Stafford. He wants it all for the end zone. And it's complete. He's got it in the end zone. Touchdown, Rams. Puka Nacua, 62 yards. And the Rams are able to match the opening drive touchdown against them with one of their own. Well, Charles, here in their opening series, they said they had certain plays scripted for certain players. That looked like a well-designed play to get one of their top targets involved.
Yeah, let's face it, Brandon. A player of his talent is a problem for any opponent to defend, and we saw it right there. They tried to deny an open lane to him. He still outplayed the coverage and scored the early touchdown. Good luck trying to figure out how to defend him as this game moves on.
The extra point splits the uprights, and we are tied at 7. Just a 4-play drive that time. And the result for the Rams, a touchdown. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. And the Vikings taking the field here for their second drive of the game. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. Jefferson moving in motion left. And now a fake on the jet sweep and a give to Jones. Boy, left that first defender grasping at air as he winds up getting a full 8 yards on that play. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. But also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Jefferson has his first catch. He also has a first down.
I don't care who you put on him. He's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe need some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
This one finding the hands of Brandon Powell. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18.
I know this may be jumping the gun a little bit, but 7-7, they're flinging it around like crazy. Look at the drive that's going on here. Partner, we may have to start thinking about one of these defenses just holding someone to a field goal and maybe trying to get an advantage that way.
So from Rams territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. Darnold from the gun. That's caught by the big tight end, T.J. Hockenson. That'll go for a gain of 7, and it'll be 2nd down.
Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. From the 32-yard line now, here's 2nd and 3. Back to throw, Darnold. Going back to the same well, it's Hockenson again. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another 1st down.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a 1st down.
Now a 1st down carry by Jones. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
2nd down, another shot for Jones. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. They wind up losing a couple there, so they go behind the original line of scrimmage, and now 3rd and 11 coming up.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
And that is incomplete. The LA defense up to snuff in coverage there. Pushes this to 4th down.
Smart move to throw that one away. You're in field goal range, so you definitely don't want to be loose with the ball. And that's great work by this defense to force a 4th down.
And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. And it'll be an excellent return as he's all the way down inside the 25-yard line.
We spend so much time talking about the physical side of the game. How about the mental side? They just gave up a field goal, but they didn't get down at all. Big-time return. They're set up to try and at least tie the game up.
So the Rams coming back onto the field, their 2nd drive of the game. Stafford. Got his man. It's Williams. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards, and it's second down.
And some play callers, when they go into games, they don't mind calling a lot of screens, and they don't care what down. They were maybe one block away from really having something there to start this drive. Good job defensively to cut through the blockers and make the tackle on the screen, or that could have gone for maybe 15 or 20 yards.
Stafford. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And he's going to take this one in for a Rams touchdown. Matthew Stafford, 2 touchdown passes in this first quarter. And the Rams have moved out in front. So they get their tight end away from the line to the outside, and he works his way in for 6.
Tight ends are not just blockers anymore. I don't know how many more times we need examples, but here's a great one. Gets to the outside, they give him the ball pretty quickly, and they trust him to get those extra yards, and boy, did he come through, bullying his way into the end zone after the nice catch.
Extra point forthcoming. And that makes it 14-10. Well, that drive started with not a whole lot of real estate in front of them. In plus territory, excellent field position. 2 plays later, pay dirt. The Rams kickoff team on the field, and here we go with the ball in the air. And he's going to be taken down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. An entertaining start to this one. More to come on EA Sports. The Vikings with the football here to begin the second quarter as they get set to start their drive with a 1st and 10. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want a drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants a drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
And this one incomplete. He tried to check it down to his running back and nearly had the ball picked.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense if that fell harmlessly to the ground. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And this is going to be incomplete.
Well, they came up with points in their first 2 possessions, but it looks like they'll come up empty here on their 3rd drive. The defense finally starting to get locked into them a little bit. Might have to go a little bit deeper into their playbook on their next possession.
So on 4th down, Ryan Wright on to punt for Minnesota. And a fair catch called for and made just inside the 35-yard line. It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return. And the Rams will go on offense here with a 1st and 10. Stafford and the Rams come up 1st and 10 at the 34. They start the drive on the ground. It's Williams. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Byron Murphy there on the tackle. You don't see that a ton, do you? With the cornerback coming over to the middle of the field to make a run tackle.
That's someone with a ton of confidence to feel like nothing is pressuring him on his side of the field. Sees that the ball's moved to the middle and just sprints over there to help out. He ends up getting the tackle. Well played.
finding Williams on the check down. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. A gain there of 12 yards and a first down L.A.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing, but as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
Now a first down carry. It's Williams. He'll get it up near midfield to the 49 before being taken down.
I feel like I can see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
Second down and 6 now. A shotgun snap for Stafford. Now that'll be caught by Kupp. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. So that'll go as a 4-yard loss on the play. And that brings up third and a full 10 yards.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
And that went to the right side and incomplete.
That could be the stop this defense needed to get them back on track. They've been pretty well dissected by the offense here in the first half. After that possession, now they know that they can compete with this offense.
So on fourth down, on is Ethan Evans to punt for the Rams. Brandon Powell deep for Minnesota. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. The Vikings ready to go again on offense. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
That's to about the 28. Second down coming up.
End result of that one, a nice 4-yard gain, so you can use that to set up your play-action game, or you can come right back and continue to run the football, because as an offensive play caller, you're on schedule and feeling pretty good about your next couple of calls.
Here's Jones again on second down. And down right around the 32-yard line, 4 yards on the pickup.
Back-to-back 4-yard runs. Now look, if they just do that all the way downfield, ball ends up in the end zone, but that's a little difficult to do.
Yeah, I think now 3rd and 2, that defense ready to stiffen up and stop that run. The offense on 3rd down tonight, just 1 for 3 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2. On the counter, here's Jones. And he's going to have the first down, yardage to the 35. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
I haven't met a football team yet that runs the ball successfully that doesn't talk about having an attitude to be a running football team, right? You got to be able to put your nose in there, smell where the first down sticks are, and get there.
In motion right is Addison. They'll fake it on the jet sweep, and instead a handoff up the middle. And he'll get this up to about the 40. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
That's a really good gain right there. They pick up 5 yards halfway to a first down. The only problem now in the huddle, everyone's going to want to touch the football. Be a lot of chattering now because they've seen that they can move the line of scrimmage.
Out of the shotgun, here's Darnold. Addison hauls it in. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. 19 yards there on the catch and run.
Of course, the catch was nice, but how about what happened after? Able to stay on his feet and gain all that additional yardage. So many of these slot guys, I think, have running back in their background.
So from Rams territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 41. Up the middle, Jones. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
And that's a strong pickup right there on first down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. Second and a couple. Darnold now to throw. And that's off the mark, incomplete.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap, and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
They're trying to keep the drive going. This will be play number 8. It's 3rd and 2. To throw is Darnold. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he will have a Vikings first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
I like the call on 3rd and 2. They were geared up to stop the run. I like the fact they just hit him quick. A little slant route. All about timing there, partner.
Yeah, the timing, everything well executed. Darnold. He's got room to roam, and he's got it all the way down to the 12-yard line. Another catch for him there. This one good for 11, first down.
How about a nod to the sequence of plays they're putting together here? This has been death by 1,000 paper cuts on this drive. But this is one of their best plays yet, and they're able to move it down into the red zone.
To the air again, Darnold. That is caught at the 7-yard line. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. From the 7, it's 2nd and 5. Now Darnold. This is caught. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1. So it's 1st and goal and a great opportunity to get that lead back before the break. Here's Darnold. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
My first thought is surprise because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
2nd and goal, and they will try again from the 2-yard line. Jones is not going to get back to the line of scrimmage as they'll tackle him at the 3. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
I thought they were onto something with their play call and kind of went in reverse a little bit. Threw it on 1st down, then ran it on 2nd down. Not successful either way. What play call do they come up with here on this important 3rd down try?
Being chased out, and he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Sam Darnold in the final seconds of the first half. And the Vikings have taken the lead here in the final stages of this first half.
What an effort there. Sometimes you hold your breath a bit when you see your quarterback diving for the end zone. You don't want him to land on a shoulder wrong or take a big shot. But he looks none the worse for wear here, and that winds up a touchdown.
Now for the point after. It's good, and they'll take a 17-14 lead. That one was an extended drive, 14 plays all told, and it ends with a 3-yard scoring run. So barring a touchback, this likely the final act of the half as the kick is away. And no chance to see a return on the dynamic kickoff. They'll move this out to the 30-yard line. A final shot before the break. Stafford gonna let one fly for Robinson. And this one is incomplete. So we hit halftime with our visitors, the Vikings, taking the lead to the locker room. As we'll send you back over to Orlando with our EA Sports Halftime Report, here's Jonathan Coachman.
In that first half, it was the veteran Aaron Jones who had it going. He wound up finding the end zone on a touchdown run to help give his guys the advantage here at the break. This one's been as good as advertised. Just a field goal separating these two teams. This was a very level first half, and I'd expect to see more of the same after the break.
Okay, Coach, yeah, adjustments likely going to play a big role in this third quarter in what's been a tight contest so far. A field goal the difference. 17-14 is the score. Back underway here now in this third quarter. And he won't quite make it to the 25. Out come the Rams. They'll have it first here to begin the third quarter. And they're still very much in this game, although they do trail. What's the game plan, Charles, for the second half?
It might be a little counterintuitive because most people will think losing equals passing the ball more, but I'd establish the running game. They kind of went away from it in the first half. I think if they get back in balance, it'll help them when they put the ball back in the air.
They start the second half here with Williams. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operated.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secure before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
It's a gain of 6, moves them to a manageable 3rd and 2 situation.
Well, so far, this game has gone the way the defensive coordinator had hoped. They've dictated things. They've not let them run the ball very well at all. They gave up a nice game there. I doubt it'll back off their confidence. They've played so well throughout this entire game.
They'll try and run for it. Here's Williams. And Williams is going to be stopped short of the yellow line. He did not get there. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
I see a shake of the head as he gets up, and you've got to imagine he's thinking, guys, you got to help me out. He's hoping his team can read his thoughts because he definitely needs some assistance.
Here comes the Rams punter now, as he'll punt it away for the second time. And the fair catch is made at about the 27-yard line. The Vikings offense and Aaron Jones headed back onto the field. And as you take a look at the numbers, you have to imagine he was the topic of the halftime talk for this defense. We've got to find a way to slow him down. That's probably what they're saying. But nothing that they have done has worked so far. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. We have not seen much on offense here from either side these last few drives. We've hit a wall, so to speak.
And have hit it hard, haven't we? Because the defenses right now, they seem to be a step ahead, don't they? Beating them to the point of attack, beating them to the punch. These offensive guys, they're tinkering like crazy. What's it going to take to get back on track?
Yeah, both sides searching for adjustments. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. A shotgun snap for Darnold. Right side, it's the tight end, Hockenson. It'll be a gain of 5, and that will bring up 2nd down.
They really love to get him into one-on-one opportunities, and this is one way, work him out of the slot and create a mismatch. Who's going to cover him? Corner, safety, linebacker? He's got a way to beat all of those positions.
Running right, Jones. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now third down coming up.
Brandon, you're a big lover of music. How about what you just saw there? This is what I call playing the piano for a defensive lineman, the ability to move laterally up and down the line of scrimmage. How about the way he just flowed and got to the outside part of the field and made that play?
Now it's Darnold. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Rams' 31-yard line. That gain on third down, good for 28.
And that's well executed there on third down, and I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a first down.
So from Rams territory now, it's 1st and 10, down at the 31. Addison will go in motion left. Here's a fake on the jet sweep, and instead a give up the middle. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3. Here's 2nd and 7. They'll go again to Jones. And just good downhill running there as he'll take this to the 15-yard line. 97 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night. He continues to be effective running the football, a big reason that they have the lead.
And I love one of the quotes that I read about him where he said of himself, "I love it when a team just hops on my back and I just carry them along."
From the shotgun, a give to Jones. And they get to him quickly here as he's stopped right around the 13. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
And that last carry puts him right at 100 yards for the game. So how has he done it? Because he's been patient, followed his blocks, let everything develop, and then burst through for big gains.
And they'll try the air now with Darnold. And he's got it. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Justin Jefferson from 13 yards out as his guys are able to extend their lead. That seemed pretty ideal there for the offense, Charles. You take a little bit of time off the clock here in the third quarter, decent length drive, and you pad your lead as well at the end of it.
And what it does is let you feel like you're in control of this game, even more so than a 2-touchdown lead, right? Because you have taken that time off, as you noted, which means they couldn't get you off the field. You ran your playbook the way you wanted to, and you gave your defense some rest. What a big-time drive in that situation.
Extra point right down the middle, and his guys will take a 10-point lead. So that drive goes 8 plays. And it was all capped off by Justin Jefferson's touchdown reception. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. The offense for Los Angeles returns to the field. They're down now 24-14. Work to do as they come up on a 1st and 10. They'll try to get this running game going with Williams. And he finds a little bit of room, enough for 4 yards. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
2nd and 6. Now a play fake it at Stafford. Pass complete there to Nakua. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A gain there of 21 yards.
And
And another thing that makes a comeback route really effective is that oftentimes after you've made the initial move, receivers breaking away from the defensive back, and that makes it a really tough play to defend. A nice chunk of yardage picked up there.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 47. Throwing is Stafford. They'll set up the screen. This is Williams. And he's got this down a yard or two shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. A nice little screen. They get 6 on 1st down.
With all the success they've had throwing the football as a pass rusher, you know you've got to come hard when you see him drop back to throw. So I really like this call to counteract that pass rush with a screen. It turns into positive yardage. A lot of times the offense says, just replace the rusher with the ball, and it turns into a good play.
Finding Williams once more, complete. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now in Los Angeles. It's the Rams trailing, but they do have the football as we start the 4th and final quarter. On 3rd down, here's Williams. And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage. Give him the 3rd down conversion, 5 yards on the play. Now, yes, a 2-possession game, but a good chunk of time on the clock, so they have the ability still there to run it on 2nd and short, but maybe they need to pick it up a bit.
You're right. They did pick up the 1st down there, but they, as you mentioned, they have to pick up the pace now because it's a 2-possession game. They've got to get there twice to make sure they have a chance to win.
Going to be taken in here by Nakua. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. The Rams, they are on the move. They've got another 1st down.
Well, every drive from here out is definitely crucial and critical. They know that they need to get at least 3 here to get it back to a 1-score game. But I can't imagine that in their huddle that they're thinking at all about getting a field goal. They want to get into the end zone and then try and get the ball back again.
Now it's Stafford. Over the middle and complete to the tight end, Higbee. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play, and that'll make it 2nd down.
And there wasn't much room for the big tight end to do much after the catch. But at least he was able to pick up a solid gain to help his offense continue to move in the right direction.
2nd and 5. Now Stafford. Throws to his man on the out route. It's complete. That's Robinson. And he will reach the 5-yard line before going out of bounds. It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives him a 1st and goal. In motion, the tight end. Now Stafford. In trouble, and he'll go down back at the 12. A big loss there of about 7 yards on 1st and goal, so now it's 2nd down.
Well, there's still time to rectify this situation because the silver lining, they took a sack on 1st and goal. But that close to the goal line, that still definitely hurts.
Two of their 3 red zone trips so far, they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd and goal. Now we give up the middle to Williams. And here he'll get it down to the 7. They get 5 on the run, but it leaves them with a tough 3rd and goal forthcoming.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness, think about running the ball here. Not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them as well. I wouldn't run it here, guys. You might want to try throwing it.
Touchdown! Puka Nakua, his 2nd touchdown of the night. And the Rams have made it a one-score game again here in the fourth. So how about that for an answer? They get the touchdown there, and it's back to a one-score game here in the fourth.
And that's what these guys have done all game long because they've scratched and slashed their way to stay in this game. And by now, we should all realize they're not going away. Now the pressure again swings to their defense because they're going to need to find some way to get the ball back.
Extra point attempt to follow here. It's up and good, and this now becomes a 24-21 ball game. So that one a long 11-play drive, and it winds up with a touchdown for Los Angeles. So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. The Vikings offense and their running back getting set for this next possession. And he has put in a full game's work and then some. Just an incredible performance on the ground to this point in the fourth quarter. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. Their lead back down to one score after the touchdown a moment ago. First down's a must on this drive as they start out here 1st and 10. 113 yards rushing for him now as he's done it on 19 carries.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with, and throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
Here's Darnold. He lets one go deep for Addison. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
One thing that offensive guys stress when they throw the deep ball, you're just counting on your receiver to find it, adjust before the defensive back can get his head around. In this case, though, the DB matched it move for move and knocked it away.
2nd and 10. Darnold from the gun. He gets it to Addison. That'll leave him with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And he will have a Vikings first down by about a yard as they're able to convert on 3rd and 2.
I know this game's winding down and people are getting tired, and that's when you really want a big body guy running the football. But I have to tell you, watching him run it, I wonder why they don't use him more earlier in the game.
Yeah, those bigger guys here late in the game, you're trying to protect the lead, usually not as fumble prone either.
No, that is so true because they are taught. Take care of the ball as you surge forward, and you often see them with both hands wrapped around it when they go through the line.
If nothing else, they've already taken a couple minutes off the clock here already as they come up 2nd down. Addison will go in motion left. Off of play action, Darnold. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Finally hauled down for the first time this game. Multiple defenders in there to drop him. 3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the fourth. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. They're facing a critical third down now as they try to hold on to this lead. An inside give to Jones. Well, they nearly sprung him that time as he takes this all the way down to the 37. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. And they'll keep on the ground with Jones. And he gets it down to the 32. Now the Rams will signal for a timeout, their second. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this fourth quarter of play. So they come up on 2nd down, and they can get another run like we just saw. Would likely put an end to this thing. Again, it's Jones. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. Now it's Darnold. That is caught. And he will have a Viking first down, and that should be the one that gets him to the finish line.
Well, they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
Victory formation time for the Vikings as they'll take a knee here. Darnold is going to take a knee, and that should just about do it. So no shortage of offense in this game, but a very clean game too, Charles. Each side got its points, but they did so without committing a single turnover.
That's so true, and it certainly felt like NFL football at its finest, right? You talk about the highest level from both of these offenses. Neither one of them afraid of taking risks, and both of them aggressively pushing it downfield. I did like, Brandon, how smart they were about going about their business, though. They were high flying, but they took care of the ball.
Yeah, they did. And just keeping it clean in a game like this with all these points, you don't see that very often, even at the highest level. Job well done by both sides. So that's a wrap for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. And this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. With that, we say good night from Los Angeles.